Touch is a banger. How old is Touch? You said Touch. So Touch is a music video or just a song? It's an MV. Oh, really? Touch is much softer. 1 year. All right. I tell you what. You got me curious. KATSEYE Touch MV. Let's see. So this is 9 months ago. This is Touch, the official MV. We've got 6 members. All right, so let's watch this and then see if I get a different feel for them in compared to, what was it called? Gnarly. Nice touch.
Monday, I was dreaming about you. Tuesday, I was waiting near the phone. 2 days, wasn't hearing from you. Yeah, what can I say? Oh, baby, I was getting bored. Thursday, I was losing interest. Friday, you were up there in the cold. Weekend, you already missed it. I was moving on, cause you were moving too slow. Sometimes I'm alone, stare out my window. The moon makes you seem close tonight. But you've been so out of touch. That about you way too much. Over, I've been thinking us. Cause you've been so out of touch. You could've had my love, but you've been so out of touch. That about you way too much. Yeah, you wanna mess it up. Cause you've been so out of touch. You could've had my love, but you've been so out of touch. First you're gonna say you're sorry. Promise you won't do it anymore. Come up with a different story. Yeah, what can I say? Say something I ain't heard before. I'm too fun to waste my time. Too young to waste one night. So here comes some good advice. If I ever call again, don't press it. Cause sometimes I'm alone. Stare out.
When this is done in 40 seconds, I have a question about the survival show.
My window, the moon makes you seem close tonight. But you've been so out of touch. That about you way too much. Over, I've been thinking us. Cause you've been so out of touch. You could've had me love, but you've been so out of touch. That about you way too much. Yeah, you wanna mess it up. Cause you've been so out of touch. You could've had my love, but you've been so out of touch.
Nice. Some pretty good effects. Some pretty good effects in this. The video itself is really well done. Here's my question about the survival show. We have 6 members. Was my earlier understanding of the show accurate, where you have 100 people? You go through some stuff, some judging, they get down to 50 people, down to 20, down to 10, and then the best 6 are the members that we see. Is that pretty accurate? Yes. And so if that's the case, I'm assuming they're going to be based on, they're going to be judged on singing, maybe, I don't know if they do rapping yet, but maybe singing, their choreo itself, probably their stamina on some regard, and their looks. Is that relatively fair to say? Yes. Okay. Star quality too. Kind of the it factor. Okay, so the reason I asked that question is because if we have 6 members, how many of you watched this season where they were contestants? At least a couple of you. Okay, so you can answer this. Let me I want to see the thumbnail again. These are the final 6 of the show. They've gone through all of the judging. Are all 6 of these, according to the show and according to the judging, were all of them 10 of 10 singers? No. So maybe their strength was choreo, or they had a good star factor, but the voice wasn't great, but they kind of had something to kind of contribute. And that's why they ended up in the group. Okay. Then I'm going to assume that the same thing holds true for the choreo, where 2 of them might be 10 of 10 choreo, locking and popping and nailing it down. And then a couple are like, I don't really do choreo that well, but I sing great, and that's my strength. Yeah, some are good dancers, some singers, some star quality. Okay. Got it. All around package. Yep. Okay. So the reason I ask those questions to try to understand how this all kind of comes together, and the fans vote as well. Okay. I'm sure the judges have the final say in some way, but I don't know. I don't know how that works. Because I'm going through this, and there's a couple that I feel like their voice is very natural, strong, and feels like I would expect it to feel as a finalist, as a winner on a survival show. And then other ones come up, and the voice is so heavy in post-production that I'm like, that's not your real voice. Not even close, bud. Nope, you ain't tricking me. Now, is that a bad thing? No, but it is not what I expected to be a winner of a survival show where they're kind of singers, right? I know they're not just singers, right? But it surprised me. So initially when I pressed play on the video, I'm looking for, like you said, it was soft. It is softer, you're right. But I don't know, man. Like, I watch this and I go, well, what makes them different than like the other 200 groups? I heard 2 voices that felt natural, that it wasn't over-processed. Natural voices, great voices. I saw some pretty good choreo, but it didn't jump out at me like it was spectacular, you know? I think she was one of the voices that caught my ear, and then this one, right? I think it was her. Now, there's some post-production, but it's not a lot of pitch correction.
If I ever call again, don't press it, 'cause sometimes I'm alone. Stare out my window and the moon makes you see.
Right? So it's hard to sit with this and say, yes, all 6 of them are incredibly talented, and here's why I can say that. I don't have that evidence yet. It's not enough for me to give each of them a gold medal, right? I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm just saying I don't think this video is great for that. This is really interesting. I think this is really fascinating. For the most part, you're looking for the wrong thing with natural vocals from a produced song in K-pop. I'm not saying there is none in K-pop, but you're looking in the wrong place for the wrong thing. Joe, I don't know if I understand what you're saying. I know that post-production is pretty heavy across all music, for sure. But I don't know. What do you mean? Didn't watch them until you heard about their survival show. Lara's an insane vocalist. Oh, live is where you need to look for unprocessed vocals. Hyperpop. Interesting. Hyperpop. It sounds delicious. They do feel more like a Western group than K-pop group to me. Interesting. Huh. In a produced song, you can't expect less processed. Okay, Joe, I see what you're saying. So here's what I think. I agree with you. I can't expect to watch a music video and be like, there's too much post-production and too much processing on the voice. I hear you. However, if you have 6 people and 2 of them, their voice sounds great, and then 4 of them, it sounds like somebody worked super hard to make those voices sound good, that's a red flag to me. I'm not a fan of that. That's just me. Some people don't care, and I totally understand that. I am really digging at the cracks here. But again, you got to remember, I pressed play on this because I want to see how talented they are. Well, of course, as singers, the first thing I'm going to look at is the voices. Now, thankfully, you all have the context mostly of the survival show and how they're going through choreo, they're going through star quality and looks and style and all that stuff. So I don't know if I have the expertise to really grade that stuff. I really have an ignorant look at all this, but at the very base, like, that's pretty much just my opinion. You know what I mean? Yeah. They want the group to be more global pop rather than K-pop. Yeah, that makes sense. But they used so is the survival show, is that kind of a K-pop thing? Was it that formula that was used to build them as a group? And then once they have them as the group, they want to market them globally. I really am just trying to understand all this. I think it's really fascinating. Okay. Interesting. Trained under the K-pop system, but they are a global group. Got it. Huh. Good stuff. Okay. Now, this is actually, before I close things out with KATSEYE Touch here, I do want to say, and it's perfect, it's the perfect cap on this video, because I've thought about this for a while. The survival show, you have 6 people that won the top 6 slots in this, however many people started out. The audition, the judging, all the way down from X number of hundreds of people to 6. Massive accomplishment. I have to assume that all 6 of them worked incredibly hard to get there. Now, let's say, obviously they've been around for a little while. They're pulling good numbers. This is 9 months ago. It's got 109 million views. So they're doing something right. Just because it doesn't resonate with me doesn't really mean anything beyond that's my opinion. But let's say you take next season of the survival show, whatever it's called. What do you call it? Debut Academy or something like that? Let's say next year there's a whole season. They start off with 1,000 people. They whittle it down over X number of weeks. They get down to 5 people. And those 5 people are the new super group, right? They're called super group. They wear capes all the time. They are the best of the best. Debut Dream Academy. Thank you. Those 5 people would have they'd have to work their asses off to get to that point where they are the 5 that created the supergroup. Now, once they put out their debut song, let's say it falls flat. Nobody's really digging it. So like, okay, maybe we missed the mark. Let's do another one. They do a second video. It falls flat. Something's not working. It's not vibing with the global audience. What do you say to the diehard fans that go, but they worked hard. They work hard. Is that enough? Isn't everybody kind of working hard in this industry? In most industries, aren't they all kind of working their asses off? But you still got to be able to just not just work hard, but work hard and then actually execute in a way that gives the audience what they want, right? Very interesting. It's a package deal, yeah. I mean, working hard, I totally respect the hustle. If anybody understands like working their ass off and driving themselves into the ground, I totally get it. I respect that to no end. But you still have to be able to close the deal. God, how many of you, this is the perfect parallel. How many of you remember when American Idol first started? Now, some of you weren't even born yet. That breaks my heart. But you remember when American Idol first started and the first, couple weeks were just auditions. You had some incredible people come in, and then you had some complete boobs come in. And these people came in, they sang, and they were terrible, but they were so genuine when they were like, well, my friends and my mom and dad said that I was a great singer. And of course, Simon being Simon is like, you're terrible. Like, I'm sorry that hurts your feelings, but I can't afford to have you walking around the world and have people lying to your face saying that you're wonderful when you're really terrible. Now, does that feel good to hear? No. But what's going to be more devastating? Your mom and your dad going, okay, yeah, you sang. It's not bad. I don't know if you need to try out for the world, right? It's a little bit of a double-edged sword. But the point is, you get somebody that comes up, and when you listen to them, you might not have the same words as someone like Simon, who's very direct and very blunt, but in your head you go, they're not going to win. That's not even a finalist. Nope. Get somebody else in here. That's what you're thinking. But what if that person said, well, I've worked hard. I've worked hard to get here. Well, yeah, bro, but you can't sing. This is a singing show, right? So all that to say, in 11 different styles, working hard is only part of the package. You got to be able to close the deal. Yeah. They had somebody like Simon on that show too. Yeah. Liz, I have to agree with you. I think many times, not every time, many times Simon just kind of said what most of us were thinking. Yeah. You felt bad for those people, like they were taking advantage of them for ratings. That's probably true, but that person also put themselves in that position. They were not dragged in there. That was a choice they made. They were fully aware that they were going to be on national television, putting themselves in that position. Yep. KATSEYE was definitely an experimental project from Hybe. They're still testing and learning what goes and how to mix the K-pop industry around the world. Okay. That's a pretty good friggin' project, if you ask me. Yeah. Sometimes member chemistry wins over talent. Sometimes. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, and there are outliers too. Look at someone like Bob Dylan. It's not like that guy has an angelic voice. He sounds like a wood chipper, but something about him gave a charm and a voice to a generation where people are like, yeah, he's singing my song, homie. That's it. Dave Matthews. Everybody says he sounds like Kermit the Frog. I love Dave Matthews. Annie can't stand him. I can't have him over to the house for dinner because Annie can't stand him. I love Dave Matthews, but that's not a good singing guy, right? But they can write. They kind of have and they have ways that they can close the deal that seems to work. And even if it doesn't resonate with me, I can go, yep, he's doing something right. These cats' eyes so far, they don't resonate with me, but they're doing something right. So I can't fault them. Yep. All right. Interesting stuff. See, that's what I dig, man. I'm not trying to veer away from the bad stuff, or what's the word? Not bad. When there's two different sides, conflicting, or I don't know. Because when I first brought up gnarly, you guys were like, oh, shit, here we go. Gotta know what's going on.